All right, well, thank you everyone for coming out. We're super excited to have you guys here for our first general body meeting. So for the next page, if you guys go to the agenda, so the purpose of this meeting is basically to introduce you all to our wonderful officer team. And then we're also going to tell y'all about what design is and then what Rice Design is. So what we stand for, what our mission is, some of the events that we have planned for this fall, which is super exciting. And then we also are going to have kind of a part two to this meeting. So that's where we're going to specifically talk a little bit more about UX design. So you guys can have like a general basic understanding of it if you don't already. And then at the very end, feel free to ask any questions that you guys might have. We're super happy to answer that. So I think we have our social media. If anyone, Newton wants to talk about this.
Oh wait, I got it.
Oh,
So
sorry.
follow our social media. We have our Instagram and Facebook. We're going to be posting Rice Design events, hopefully collabs with other organizations, such as because Hispanic Heritage Month is coming up, we want to do something with the organization. And we also plan on doing more fun stuff such as artist shoutouts. So yeah, follow for updates.
Yes, the social media team has been doing so much, so you guys should check out their work. So yeah, let's move on to intros. Or actually, we have our interest form. So fill out this interest form if you guys haven't. It's just the one that we sent out in the Facebook, which asks like what specifically you're interested in, just so we can cater to what like most people want. But yeah, I think that'll be in the chat as well. All right, now let's move on to introductions. So I can start us all off. Hello, everyone. My name is Cindy Shang. I am the Rice Design President. So I am currently a sophomore and I'm from McMurtry College. I'm majoring in cognitive sciences and minoring in business. So I'm pretty set about like pursuing UI UX design in the future. So y'all can ask me anything about getting started in design, doing side projects, just the design thinking process. So yeah, Elena.
Thanks, Cindy. Hey guys, I'm Elena. I am the Vice President of Rice Design. I'm also a junior at McMurtry studying computer science and business. I have experience with graphic design and UX, so you guys can talk to me about that. But right now I'm interested in front-end design and front-end engineering. And I kind of had a moment where I was into product management. So if you want to talk to me about that, I'm open for that too.
Hi, I'm Timothy. I'm a junior from Brown studying computer science and entrepreneurship. I have experience with like front-end internships and web development. So I have a lot of experience like looking at designs and thinking about how to actually engineer and implement them. So if you have any questions about that, please reach out to me.
Hi, everyone. Are you hearing me? I'm Sheyuan. I'm from Will Rice. I'm currently a senior doing architectural design. I'm very into graphic design, so you cannot ask me about tips on using Photoshop, Illustrator, or just about architectural design in general. And also, I'm doing drawings on iPads, so we can discuss about that as well.
Okay, hello, I'm Nini. I'm on the social media and marketing chair. I'm a junior from Duncan, majoring in mathematics and BADA with a focus in studio arts. So Mary's not here right now, but she is one of the directors of the team. She is also a junior from Duncan and is majoring in cognitive sciences.
Yeah, and I'm the other director. My name is Newton Huynh, upcoming sophomore at Will Rice because I'm taking a gap year this year. I don't really have experience in design, but I really like creating and the creative process. So if you have any questions about transitioning from not knowing anything to getting a little bit of experience, I'm always free. So yeah, really excited this year.
So hi everyone, my name is Ananya. I'm on the outreach team and I'm a sophomore at Brown studying computer science. You can ask me about computer science and front-end development. So the rest of the outreach team isn't here, so I'll go ahead and introduce them. So Chinwe is a senior at Martell studying kinesiology, global health tech, engineering design. She's interested in design from an engineering perspective, and she's learning HCD and she's a beginner in UX and graphic design. And Riley is a senior at Weiss majoring in English with a creative writing concentration and minoring in biochem and cell biology. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah. I'm a sophomore from Martell and I'm a computer science major with a minor in stats. I did some web development stuff this summer, so yeah, you can ask me about that, but I'm also a design beginner.
Hi everyone, my name is Ryan. I'm a sophomore at Lovett, majoring in computer science and potential minors in stat and entrepreneurship. So I'm also one of the event chairs for this year. And I have pretty limited experience with design in general, but if you have questions about like front-end development or product management, I'm happy to answer them.
Hey guys, I'm Shreya. I'm a junior at Duncan studying computer science. If you guys have any questions about product management, definitely reach out.
Hi, I'm Andy. I'm a senior at Weiss and I'm majoring in cognitive sciences. I have about 2 years of design experience and I've mostly worked in the startup world. So if you have any questions about design at startups or anything about design.
Hi, I'm Luna. I'm a sophomore at Hansen studying cognitive sciences with a minor in stat. And I have a lot of experience in UX research and then turning that into design. So feel free to ask me any questions about that.
Hey guys, I'm Christina. I'm a junior from Lovett who's studying architecture and business. Me and Nina will be your graphic design and illustration leads this year. We have experience in Adobe Creative Suite, anything from Photoshop to Illustrator to InDesign, along with a lot of studio art experience. So feel free to ask us anything about that.
Okay, so thanks everyone for introducing yourselves. We now kind of want to talk about what we define digital design to be, because we think that design has so many different facets and we want to make sure that you guys understand what Rice Design kind of defines design as. So it's kind of wordy, but we kind of decided that design is a process of problem solving to best visually communicate an idea, message, functional process, or digital interface to a well understood set of users. So there are definitely many different definitions of design, but this is what we thought, that we want Rice Design to tell everyone what design is. And then we kind of listed out all of the subsets of design that we are interested in. Obviously, Rice Design isn't going to be able to touch on all of them, but we're going to focus mainly on what the members are interested in. So that's graphic design, UX, which is user experience design, UI, which is user interface design, illustration, front-end design, etc. So that's kind of what our scope is for Rice Design. If you guys have any other aspects of design that you're interested in, we would love to talk about them as well. And now I'm going to pass it off to Cindy.
Yep, so we're just going to go into talking a little bit more about Rice Design's mission statement. So our mission is to connect, educate, and celebrate designers. And what this means, so the first point of connecting designers, I'm sure that you guys have all had this frustration for the lack of design resources on campus. So Rice Design was actually started out of this shared frustration, and we all kind of thought that we were just like a lone designer, but we're just aiming to bring everyone together. Like, you guys are not alone. Actually, we have quite a few people who are interested, so we're super excited about that. So yeah, we wanted to create a community of designers where we can learn and even struggle together. And then the second point is to educate. So Events is going to talk a little bit more about this, but we're going to be bringing in industry leaders to talk about their design experiences and their journeys. Also recruiters. We're also going to be hosting workshops, so that's mainly what the leads are going to be doing. They're going to be teaching y'all useful tools and skills like Figma, Adobe Illustrator, Procreate, just to name a few. Skills like wireframing, prototyping, design thinking in general. So get excited for that too. And then finally, celebrating. So we also want to lift y'all up, put your work on social media when we can like go back to campus, display it at like the RMC, right across from Coffee House. So just a few ideas that we have. But as I said, or as Elena said before, we're defining digital designers as those who are interested in UI, UX design, graphics, and illustration, as well as PM and front end. Obviously, design is not limited to this, but this seems to be what everyone is predominantly interested in. So that's what we're going to be going off of. So next, we're just going to be showing some example works from some of our officer teams. So this is some of Andy's work if he wants to talk about it.
Okay, so the one on the left is a Spotify redesign. So a lot of the things that you'll do as a budding designer is oftentimes you can't get into a company or you can't find official outlets to do work, but there are always ways to do design, especially in your free time. So I was very frustrated with a Spotify update that came out. And so I redesigned some of the features and redeveloped their screens. And then the one on the right is we had an old Weiss website that was pretty defunct. So I redid that, and then that was actually implemented. Now it has been passed on to the new webmasters, but I guess I laid the groundworks for that.
So this is some of my work from my internship this summer. I was on a UX research and design team for like this startup, and it definitely taught me a lot about how to take like user feedback and translate it to a useful design.
So now we also have some examples of graphics and illustration from our officer team.
Hey guys, so this is just some of the graphics I've done through various competitions along with hackathons. So you can see that the styles vary a lot. You include logo design, you include interactive graphics and stuff like that.
And then this is some of Nina's work. So as you guys can see, we have a really diverse range of talent among our team, so please take advantage of it. So I think that wraps up our first section, which is just talking about our, oh wait, no. What's next? Just kidding, events.
Yeah, so now we're kind of going into a section of what to expect with events this semester. And we're super excited for what we have coming up for you guys. And so I guess one thing kind of to summarize everything here is that we're providing events that are kind of different than what you're getting at any other club. For one thing, because of course we're focusing on design. And for another thing, we have a huge emphasis on learning. So as you can see with our workshops, we're going to be teaching everyone very applicable design skills. A lot from our wonderful leads as well as alums and industry designers. So learning really applicable skills that you would use in a UX, UI design role or anything else that you're potentially interested in. And then for other events, we're also going to be having some guest speakers, including one this week, which we'll get to in a second. And some of the topics for these guest speakers include how to get involved with design at Rice, what design actually looks like in industry, to kind of see, what areas of industry you might be interested in regards to design, as well as career and internship advice if that's something that you decide you're interested in pursuing. Going along with that, we also have recruiting events where you can learn about and get connected with different career opportunities in design. So this would involve learning about what different roles look like in design and industry, as well as if you find an area that you're specifically interested in, getting in touch with recruiters who could potentially help you land that internship or full-time offer. And last, but certainly not least, we're also going to have social events This is basically a way for us to kind of foster the design community here at Rice. So this might include things like game movie nights, study breaks, also mentorship opportunities, so you can get a little bit more one-on-one interaction with someone who could help you, provide advice, or just someone just to talk to who's also interested in design. So yeah, like with all of this, are very much so fits into the mission of Rice Design in fostering this community based on design, and also teaching you a lot of really cool applicable skills.
So like Ryan mentioned, we do have an event this Thursday. Tina Liu, she's a senior at SID. She's going to be talking about how to pursue design at Rice. So Tina worked as an art director for the Rice Thresher. She did research as a human-computer interaction research assistant. She did UX design at a Brooklyn skincare startup, and she also was most recently a product design intern at Hulu. So she's going to have some really great insight. So definitely pull up.
Yeah, so here we have our next couple months worth of events laid out. Yeah, so show up to Tina Liu's event this Thursday. It should be really fun. In early October, we're gonna have a front-end designer / engineer from IBM come and talk to us. And then we also have a bunch of workshops, which I'm really excited for. Our leads will be talking about basics of Illustrator and Photoshop, how to use Photoshop masks, and basics of logo design. And we'll have 3 of those in October, which is very exciting. And we also, after workshops, we hope to have like some design challenges for you guys to work on so that you can apply the knowledge that you learn, so you don't just like immediately forget it. So that should be very fun. We're also in contact with people from Google and HubSpot, as well as like a bunch of Rice alum and people interested in entrepreneurship. So I hope you guys can make it.
Okay, I
Wow.
think
This is the second part. So sorry about that. Yeah, Elena.
yeah, so that was like Cindy just said, that was the first half of the first general body meeting for Rice Design. We're now going to talk a little bit about what is UX design, which is called user experience design. We also want to make sure to stress that this is just one part of Rice Design. UX is just a little facet of it. So there's UX, there's UI, there's a lot of different things that we mentioned before. But we know that UX, there's a lot of misconceptions with UX design, and we want to clear that up before we move on with the semester. So feel free to stay if you're interested. If you're not interested in UX, that's cool too. You can head out. So I'm going to pass it off to our UX leads.
Okay. Yes, as Elena said, UX in case you didn't know, UX stands for user experience and UI stands for user interface. So what that means is user experience deals with everything and anything that shapes the user's journey with using your product. So that could include interactions, and it's a little bit confusing that it also touches on user interface, but the heavy emphasis of user experience is sort of the hidden elements that you might not even notice. So how the page is laid out, how the interactions work, or how you move from one flow to another flow. So it's sort of all, I guess, the meat and all the hidden parts that make the product what it is. And then user interface is more specifically about the surface, or I guess the visual look and feel of the product. So the user interface is the thing that you're actually interacting with. So it's like the buttons, the typography, the illustrations, and things like that. So without UX, there's no substance to your product. And without UI, there's nothing you're actually looking at. So these two work in tandem to create all the products that you use today. And it's those two working together is what makes you sort of fall in love with products, and sort of this is what makes products, I guess, unique from one another. And then UX versus UI. So as I touched on before, UX does touch a little bit into UI, but the main difference is that UI is sort of just the tip of the iceberg. So it's what you can immediately see about the product or experience. And then UX is sort of everything below the surface that deals with how information is laid out on the page, how you get from one step to another, how information is sort of presented and how it's sort of, I guess, how it's written and modeled. So just always think of it sort of like an iceberg. UI is the tip that you see, and then UX is the giant body that's below it. And now Luna's going to talk about some other aspects.
So a common misconception with UI UX design is that you have to be good at computer science or coding. And then if you're not good at that, you have to be able to like draw and have really good artistic skills. But that's definitely not true because I really can't do either of those things at all. Like it's good to have a base knowledge of what it is and how it interacts with UX, but it's definitely not something to be worried about if you don't have experience in either of those things. Because a good UX designer is mostly just someone who can understand a problem and communicate that solution through their design. So UX, UI design pulls on ideas from engineering, business, design, strategy, like you can kind of see in the Venn diagrams. But basically you're using all of these different ideas to create an approach to design so that you're able to create something that's able to work for the user while also projecting the message from a business and engineering standpoint.
And now, I guess, so we told you what all this is, what all of UX and UI is, but a major question is why be a UX UI designer? The number one reason, and I guess everyone will have different reasons, but the thing that usually stands at the top is you get to work with people and technology. So the people part is obviously you're building products for people. You are the user's biggest advocates. So you will be working directly with people that use your products, but you also have to understand the technology behind the product so that you can sort of be that bridge between users and the technology. Another reason is that you have direct control over the products. So you are the one that's directly shaping and sort of influencing the product and how it turns out. And this also works on a company level. So as y'all might know, Apple has like a very specific design philosophy. So their designers work very hard to ensure that all Apple products and everything that comes out of Apple is distinctly Apple. So in that way, you are like directly shaping a sort of a company's, I guess, image in the greater market. Another reason is that I personally find it extremely fulfilling to see all these ideas that you have being turned into real products. So you might have all these crazy ideas of, oh, we could do, I guess, Spotify so much better, or oh, this website could be so much better. And being a UX UI designer, you can like see how you can turn your ideas into these beautiful products. And also long-term, I think it is a very technical and challenging career. So you're never gonna have sort of like a boring, monotonous, I guess, workflow. Yeah, and because it is a technical and challenging career, you get paid pretty well. So UX is sort of, oftentimes you might find yourself sort of justifying your work that you're doing and why you're valuable, but at the companies that recognize that UI UX is the foundation of products, you are compensated very, very well. So yeah, keep that in mind.
All right, I think that's it. Thank you guys for talking about UX UI design. Cindy, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, so that's all that we have for both parts of our meeting today. But we just want to let you guys know, like, we're here for like any questions that you guys have. We will try our best to answer them. And also you guys can stay if you just want to like hang out. But the officers will be hanging around for a little bit afterwards. But thank you again. Thank you so much for coming. And please remember to show up to Tina's talk.
Thanks, guys.
Thank y'all. Thank you.